Good morning. Good Monday morning. Good first whole week of November just gone. Just like that. A fourth of the month is already gone. Day's the seventh. That's one whole week. Man, I blew it because this week is gone. I don't even hardly remember it. It's such a blur. Anyway, I hope you're having a good morning. I hope you had a good weekend. I had a wonderful weekend, and it was a lot better. We came home from the hospital on Friday afternoon, and I just slept so much Saturday, Friday night, and Saturday. And then the time change, I liked that extra hour, but now my schedule's all off because Chris thinks it's 9 and it's only 8. So I'm going to get him up early and work with it, right? So I hope he doesn't think he's going to go to bed early tonight, though. But anyway, he's in there like, why are you not getting me up? I don't understand. So got to make some adjustments, right? But that's what life is all about. Life is all about making adjustments as we age, as we get wiser. Hopefully, that's the goal, right? Anyway, as we change, as we grow in relationship with Him, So, anyway, I hope you had a good weekend. I really did. So, this morning, let's see, how did I end up in this psalm? You know what? I have no idea, but I ended up in Psalm 139. Again, I love Psalm. Oh, actually, I was actually reading Psalm 138, and I was reading all around it. Different. I started in 137, I think 138, and then I ended up in 139. And I found, sometimes I just kind of read until something grabs me. And when that something, that verse, that thought, that phrase, that something like that, when it grabs me, then I just camp there for a little bit and I think about it and I read it 2 or 3 times and read the verses around it. I actually read quite a bit of Job this morning too, and that there's a whole passage in Job. I'm going to have to go back and look at it later. But man, it was so good. So, but when I find something that just grabs me, I just camp there, right? So sometimes I start and read through the Bible. Sometimes I read through a book. Sometimes I camp in a chapter for a while, and it's just I'm consistent in the reading, but I'm not always in the same place. So, but this morning, I was through Job, through Psalms, and I don't remember how I ended up in Job. I don't remember how I don't remember right now. This is a long time ago already. So, but I ended up in Psalm 139, and here's what one of the things I love about the Word. I don't care how many times you've read it. I don't care if you read the Bible through every day. I don't know anybody who's ever done that, but if you did, I don't know anybody who could do that. But if you did, and if you could, you would find something new the next day when you read it. And it's not, I've said this, I know I've said this before, but it's not because the word changes. It's because my receptor changes, right? My perspective changes. My experiences have changed. And so I get something, I can learn something new every day. And part of that is because it says the word of God is alive. And that's why we want to hide it in our heart. I thought back about David when he wrote that psalm. They didn't have a physical Bible they could actually put in their heart. Obviously, that would be rather painful, and it wouldn't work, right? But they had to memorize it because they didn't have a convenient copy to carry around. They didn't even have the New Testament and some of the prophets and things, right? And so David was saying, hide it in your heart. And so it's so important for us to read it, but it's so important for us to hide it in our heart, to carry it, to let it change us. So I'm looking at Psalm 139 this afternoon, this morning. I ended up in verse 23, search my heart. And, we've talked about it. And as I was reading it, I thought, you know what? The whole first part of Psalm 139, David is talking about, God, you searched me in my mother's womb. You watched over me. You are acquainted with everything I do. And in a way, and I don't mean this in a really bad way, but in a way it wasn't invited. Right now, David doesn't say that in Psalms, but God did. David wasn't praying in the womb. Okay, God, watch me move my fingers, watch my toes grow, watch my ears come on the side of my head, watch my organs form. But it was an uninvited searching, right? And yet God searched him even in the womb. And David was, and in this song, I felt like David was going, that's cool because that's cool because you were looking for me, and that's awesome. But it was uninvited. Not that he was unwelcome, but David didn't pray in the womb, come watch me grow, watch my fingernails grow, watch my hair grow, watch everything start falling into place in this body. And yet God was still watching over him in the womb. God was intimately acquainted with his ways, whether he was uh, whether he was invited or not, right? And then at the end, David is saying this after he talks about how intimately God has searched him over the years from the beginning, from David, as earliest as David could even imagine was in the womb of God, of his mother, right? And he's watching over then, and he ends the psalm with, Here's an invitation to search me. That's two different things. See, it tells us in the first part of the psalm that I know, God, that you were watching over me, that you were searching me, that you were with me, that you were watching me in the womb, and you knew my heart then. But now I'm inviting you to know my heart. And that's two different things. See, God's going to be acquainted with all of our ways, whether we want him to or not. Why? Not because he's a control freak, not because he is a know-it-all, although he is. He knows it all, right? But he's intimately acquainted with our ways because he wants to be. That blows my mind because God wants to be. And because my ways are weird. I don't know about yours, but I got some crazy stuff going on. And yet God chooses to search us. He chooses to be with us. He chooses to understand those thoughts and feelings and emotions behind every action, right? And behind every word, behind our thoughts, all those feelings behind our thoughts, right? And so, but now at the end of the psalm, David is saying, you know what? That's really cool, God. I'm inviting you to know me. I'm inviting you to search my ways and see if there's anything in me and then lead me in this everlasting, this eternal way that I can't really fathom from here, right? And so he starts with a uninvited searching that God just knows everything and wants to know everything about us to an invitation, right? An invitation to search me, know me through and through. Don't let me hide anything. That's not like we could. What would you want to hide from God? It's not hidden from him. Even if you don't talk about it with him, it's not hidden. You just ain't talking about it, right? You don't. There's nothing that he doesn't see, that he doesn't get. That's the and so when we open that heart up and go, okay, search me, God. Now that completes that circuit, and now guess what? His peace has room to work right there. But his peace is always there. But when you turn back and go, okay, search me. I like this. I like this, God. Let's be intimate. Let's know one another. Boom, there's that peace. Oh, I can let this peace reign. This is handy when you're in the hospital. This piece is handy when you get injured. This piece is handy when someone hurts your feelings. This piece is handy when you lose a top client. This piece is handy when it feels like everything's falling apart. This piece is handy when it doesn't feel like it's falling apart, right? This piece is handy, and it happens when we return that, when we give him that invitation to search us, and it's a willingness. But here's another piece, and it's kind of weird because there's only two of us. There's God and me, but it's a three-way connection because you've got God searching us, then that invitation, God know me, God search me, God know everything about me. Check me out, God. I'm checking you out. Now you check me out, right? I want to know you more and I want you to know me more. There's that invitation. But then there's a whole new party. I call this devotion search party. Gonna have a search party today because the next piece to that little puzzle is us searching for him. And that's really what I was looking at in, I believe it was in Job when he was talking about searching for wisdom. That's where it came from. There's some really good stuff in there about wisdom. But anyway, and so but now that completes this three-pronged circuit. God's searching us, then we invite him in. We say, I don't want anything hidden anymore. It's not like it's hidden anyway, right? But I can say, God, I want you to know all this weird stuff that goes through my head every day, all these crazy emotions that run around rampant in my heart all day. I want you to know those things, and I'm sorry for them in advance, right? But God knew them anyway. But there's an invitation, and then that when we reciprocate that searching, just because we want to know Him. That's why he wants to know us. He wants that to complete that circuit, and that's where that true peace comes, is when he's searching us, we're searching for him, and we're saying, and you know what? He does the same thing. When we turn to search for him, he's like, I'm all right here. What do you want to know? How much do you want to know me? He doesn't withhold it and go, well, come back next week and you can have the rest. Right? I got all this for you, but I'm not going to let you see anything. I'm not going to let you understand anything. I'm going to give you a teaspoon of peace, and then if you can handle it, I'll give you another teaspoon. Maybe I'll give you a tablespoon. No, he says, go ahead, search me. I'm right here. I want to be searched by you. And when we do that to God, I want to be searched by you. And then he's going, I want to be searched by you too. Let's just get to know each other. Man, does that bring some peace in our hearts and in our minds, knowing that he doesn't close that door and go, nah, everybody but you can come in, because I feel that way sometimes in life, right? Everybody's welcome here, but you're not. When God, we welcome God into just walk through the halls of our heart and minds and wills and emotions. He does the same thing. He's never closed that off. As a matter of fact, he made sure we could search him before he said, let there be light. Before he said, let there be light, he made sure because he knew we were going to mess it up, and he fixed it before we broke it. Doesn't that just blow your mind about God? He's just been blowing my mind lately. The last 24 hours, my conversations with God have just been amazing. And so today, just ask God, search me, God. I'm going to give it all to you. And then reciprocate that. I'm going to have it. Let's just have a search party. I'm going to search for you too, God. Show me where you are in my life because sometimes I don't see you. When we're honest, right? I don't see where you're working. Show me your presence here. Show me your glory. That's what Moses said. Moses prayed that. He said, show me your glory. And God said, okay, I'm going to hide you in the rock because it's too much for you, human. And I'm going to cover you, but you're going to see my glory. And so we can pray those things. God, show me your ways here in the middle of this craziness. Show me your ways in the middle of a crisis. Show me your ways in the middle of everything's going great. Right? He's there too. Sometimes we reserve him for those bad times. We reserve him for chaos. We reserve him for a pandemic. But we don't need a pandemic to know God. We don't need a pandemic to get us to seek his peace and to let his peace reign. In the good times, in the bad times, he is so consistent. His grace is toward us. It is always sufficient. His mercy is always upholding us. It's new every morning. There's no limitations on it. Every morning's except Saturdays. God doesn't sleep in on Saturdays, right? He doesn't need a day off. He doesn't say, "Call me when it's convenient for me, not you." He's there. He's consistent. He wants to be involved in every part of our lives. I challenge you today to invite him in and to ask him to show you where he is working in your lives, where he's doing things, where he's pouring in his mercy, where he's given you grace to handle everything that comes your way. Search for him. Allow him to search you. And let's have a search party today, because you know what will the end result will be? It'll be a peace that passes understanding. We won't be able to get it, but we'll be able to enjoy it and experience it. Have a great day, you guys. Peace out. I'll see you tomorrow.